Croeso, power up to the PlayStation Summer Sale. It's a massive sale as usual and it's on for a long time, and I've spent a considerable amount of time going through it for you, and I found some really cool games that are on really big discounts as well. So if you love finding cool games to play and saving a lot of money along the way, then you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe. You're welcome here anytime. Now on a side note, Sony are kinda lying. The logo for this sale says 75% off, but most of the games I'm going to cover are way more than that. I don't know why they're lying about it, but who cares? I've got the right percentages for you. Now this sale ends on the 30th of July, so that'll be your last day to pick up these deals. Let's look at the games. First up is a game I haven't covered in ages, Agatha Christie The ABC Murders. It was released in 2016, so it's 9 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.29, which is really great. And the PS5 version is also on sale, but it's a separate game so you can't get a free upgrade, but it's on an 80% discount for the price of £3.99. So if you want the newer version, you'll have to pony up some extra money for it if you want that version. In this puzzle adventure, you get to play as the legendary Hercule Poirot and investigate the ABC murders by travelling the UK, investigating crime scenes, solving puzzles, and cross-examining witnesses to close in on the murderer to solve the case. Now, I've completed this game myself, and I really enjoyed it. It's a really cool little game, and it's usually on a pretty good sale as well. I was a big fan of Hercule Poirot back in the day. I used to watch it a load with my mum, and it's got one of the coolest intros ever, especially for a detective show. It's great. And this game's pretty good. There's even some different endings you can get, depending on who you question and how you question them. You might miss out on some of the information, and you might not get the proper ending, which is pretty cool. Overall, it's a really fun game with some good puzzles, and just a really enjoyable little adventure detective story. So if you're a fan of Hercule Poirot, or you just like adventure games, puzzle games, or detective games in general, this is a really good game, especially at this price. I'd recommend picking up the PS4 version because it's not exactly a graphic heavy game, so I don't see the need to get the PS5 version. But hey, whatever one you want to get, it's a pretty good deal. So if you like the sound of it, definitely check it out. I think you'll really enjoy it if you pick it up. And hey, if you've never played a puzzle adventure before, then you could definitely start here. It's a really good fun game with a really cool franchise attached, and it's just really good fun. So if you've always wanted to try a detective game or a puzzle adventure, then why not take a look at this? Pretty much the only reason I'd say not to is if you really don't like Hercule Poirot for some reason. But if you don't, I don't really understand that. But if you're against him, there'll be plenty more games for you to choose from in future videos. So don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss your other options in the future. Up next is My Star by Alan Wake Remastered. It was released in 2021, so it's 4 years old, but the original game is much older than that really, like 360 era, and it's on an 85% discount for the low price of £3.74, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal. Especially for a game of this quality, it's really good value. And this remaster has 4K visuals, and includes both of the DLC expansions, The Signal and The Writer, plus it includes both the PS4 and PS5 versions, so you get in every version available, and they're both the best versions with all of the content included, which is really great. This is the best way to play the game. In this survival horror, a troubled author desperately searches for his missing wife as he finds a horror story that he doesn't remember writing, but as the story starts coming true page by page, he doubts his own sanity as a hostile darkness enslaves everyone around him. Now, back in the day when I used to have an Xbox 360 for Halo to play with my mates, this is one of the games that was free on their gold game promo that they used to give away games like PlayStation does, and I played it because it was free basically. Survival horror's not really my thing, but it was a big deal at the time and it was a big hit, and it was an Xbox exclusive as well. So I gave it a try and I really enjoyed it. I actually played the whole game and I had a lot of fun with it. It's very action orientated like a lot of survival horrors are, but it's just a really good quality game, and it can be pretty creepy at times as well, which is great. It's nice to see a game that lives up to the hype. It's a really good quality game in general. And most of the story involves fighting enemies based on light and weapons, so you'd have to look for batteries to power flashlights. That would weaken enemies, and then you would move in with a gun or other weapon to kill them. So it had a pretty cool unique mechanic as well, and it gave you battery anxiety like you've never felt before, which was really fun and part of the survival horror mechanics. Overall, I really enjoyed it, and it's a pretty good action horror game. So if you're a fan of this genre and you never tried Alan Wake before, it lives up to the hype and it's a really good game. Definitely take a look at it, especially if you missed out on it because of Xbox and now you've only got a PlayStation, then it's a good time to pick it up, especially at this price. Like I said, it's my style buy. It's well worth your time and money, I promise. And hey, if you've never played a survival horror before, then you could definitely start here. It's a big AAA game that's pretty well thought of, and pretty famous as well, at a really low price, so you can't ask for much more really. If you've always wanted to try this genre, definitely take a look at this game. But if you're not interested, don't worry, there'll be plenty more games for you to choose from in future videos. We have a great game collection next, Batman Arkham Collection. It was released in 2018, so it's 7 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £4.99, which is a really great deal, and it's not always at that discount either, so it's good to see it this low again, as this collection includes 3 AAA Batman games of Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, including all of the DLCs, and 1 and 2 are remastered as well, so you're getting the best versions of the games, with all of the content included, which is really good. That's a huge amount of content, and 3 really good big AAA legendary games here. It's a really good deal. These games are third-person action games, where you get to play as the Dark Knight, fighting a host of classic villains across 3 full AAA games set in the Arkham Asylum and Gotham City areas. It features tons of Batman gadgets and vehicles with an awesome combat system and a great story for all 3 games as well. Now, as far as Batman games go, these are the best Batman games ever made. This trilogy is widely hailed as the best that was ever seen. But if you're a Batman fan, you probably know that already, and you more than likely played one or all of these games. But hey, if you're missing one of them, or you've never played them, it's usually cheaper to pick up this bundle than there is to buy one of them, or a couple of them. So if you're a fan of this series and you haven't played all of them, or you're just a really big fan of superhero games and you like open world action stuff, then you should definitely check this out. They're really good open world games with really good stories, and they're really good superhero games. You're getting 3 AAA legendary games for a crazy low price, so if you're interested at all, definitely take a look. You won't be disappointed, I promise. And hey, if you've never played a third-person action game before, then you could start here. You're getting 3 massive games for your money, so if you don't end up liking them or playing them, then that's a lot of game that you're never going to play. But hey, if you're really interested in Batman, or third-person action games in general, and you don't mind picking up 3 games, then this is a really good deal, and a load of content for your money. The only reason I'd say not to pick these up is if you're not into superheroes or Batman, in which case you do have a lot of games in this genre, and you'll have plenty more to choose from in future videos. So don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss your other options in future videos. Battle Chef Brigade Deluxe is our next game. It was released in 2018, so it's 7 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the low price of £3.19, which is really great. This game is an action puzzle game where you're welcomed to Victusia, where the elite Battle Chef Brigade hunt monsters to cook into delicious cuisine. You get to play as 2 chefs, trying to succeed at Victusia's cooking challenges by beating up monsters and solving cooking puzzles with the ingredients you get from them. And it features 2-player local co-op as well, which is really good, especially if you like quirky games to play with friends or family, then you'll really enjoy this game. Now, this game was pretty big when it came out. A lot of streamers liked it, and it was pretty popular in general. Overall, it's kind of like MasterChef, but instead of like cooking stuff out of a fridge, you go and kill it first, then cook it. Oh, that's where the action comes in. It's very anime, but it's very fun and enjoyable. It's very different as well. So if you're a fan of anime games, or just quirky games that are a bit unusual, you'll probably really enjoy this game. And generally speaking, if you like action games with a bit of puzzling, then you might like this as well. It's a quirky blend of the two, and it's definitely different. You can say that at least. So hey, if you like the sound of it, why not take a look at it? It might just be the most fun game you've played in ages. And hey, if you've never played an action puzzle game before, then you could definitely start here. It's very different and quirky, so if you don't like the look of it, then look elsewhere. But hey, if it piques your interest, it's a really cool and interesting game for a low price. So if you like the look of it, definitely check it out. But if not, don't worry, there'll be plenty more games for you to choose from in future videos instead. We have a Metroidvania game next, Blasphemous. It was released in 2019, so it's 6 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £3.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty great deal. In this game, a foul curse has fallen upon the land of Custodia, and only the penitent one, a sole survivor of the Silent Sorrow massacre, trapped in an endless cycle of death and rebirth, can defeat the monsters and titanic bosses to free the world forever. Now, this was a pretty big hit when it came out. It has absolutely gorgeous 2D pixel art graphics and really good story and gameplay. The one caveat is it's very religious and quite gory in the sort of blasphemous theme of the naming. So if you're offended by iconographic stuff, religious stuff, or just gore and blasphemy in general, then this may not be for you. But if you're okay with that, there's a really cool and really good quality Metroidvania game here. It even had a sequel, it was that popular. Like I said, it was pretty well received at the time, and it was a pretty big deal as far as Metroidvania games go. So if you're interested in this one, it may not be for everyone, but it has got a different and unique theme into it. And like I said, it's got really good graphics, and it's a really good Metroidvania. So if you're a fan of them, and you like the look of this one, then why not check it out? If it's for you, you'll have a lot of fun with this one. And hey, if you've never played a Metroidvania before, then you could start here. You can get other ones for about the same price, and even big AAA legendary ones as well. So what the decision comes down to basically is theming and story. So if you're okay with the theme and story of this one, and it really intrigues you, then why not take a look at this one? But if not, there's plenty more to choose from that have different themings and different stories as well. So if you'd rather pick up one of them instead, don't miss the future videos, and then you won't miss out when the other games come on sale next. We have an anime game next, Blue Reflection. It was released in 2017, so it's 8 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £12.49, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and not a bad deal, as far as anime games go at least. Most of them are pretty expensive. Now, just so you know, there's a ton of cosmetic packs available for this game as well, and they're all on sale. Now, in general, I don't consider cosmetic packs proper DLC or content, and I don't usually cover them, but hey, if you want them, they're on sale right now, and you might want them if you pick up the game. In this RPG, Hinako Shirai returns to school after recovering from a leg injury when magical sisters bestow her with magical powers, and now she transforms into a reflector to help defend the world from the devastating forces of evil. Now, as far as anime games go, this looks pretty familiar to me. The idea of a group of people, usually school kids, getting some powers and then teaming up together and transforming using those powers to fight evil. You know, it's pretty Power Ranger-y and pretty common by now. But hey, the game's got pretty good reviews, and it seems pretty well liked as well. It may not be the most original game ever made, but it looks pretty good, and people that play it seem to enjoy it. So hey, if you're a fan of anime games, and you like the idea of a group of teenage girls fighting to save the world, then why not check this out? As far as RPGs go, this looks like a pretty decent one, and I think if you're into Japanese games or anime games, then there's a lot to like in this game for you. So why not check it out if it's piqued your interest? I think you'll enjoy it if you pick it up. And hey, if you've never played an RPG before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. It's pretty pricey compared to some other games you can pick up, and even big AAA legendary ones are cheaper than this as well when they're on sale, so you're much better off starting with one of them instead. But hey, if you really like the look of this one, then why not take a look at it, and you might pick it up and enjoy it. But if not, you've got plenty of better options to pick from, so don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss out when they're on sale next. We have a VR game next, Cari and the Reaper Man Escape from the Underworld. It was released in 2021, so it's 4 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.54, which is a really great price for a cool looking VR game. This is a VR puzzle platformer for PSVR 1 with Move Controller compatibility, so if you have them you can use them, which is really good. A lot of games are improved by Move Controller compatibility, and I think this would be one of them, so it's nice to see support for it. In this game, you get to control Cari and the Reaper Man as they visit the spirits of the underworld. It features 2-player local co-op, with one person controlling Cari on the TV, while the other person controls the Reaper Man in VR, so you have to work together asymmetrically to complete the levels and the game, which is really cool. It's nice to see asymmetric co-op games in VR, and this looks like a pretty good one. If you're a big fan of playing games with a friend, or with family or a kid, this might be a really good game for that. Having one of you in VR and the other one on a normal controller is probably going to be a lot of fun. So if you've got a PSVR 1 and you like the look of this, why not check it out? I'm pretty sure this is the only game like this you can play 2-player on PSVR 1, so it's definitely unique, but it looks pretty good as well, and especially at this price you can't go far wrong really. So if you're tempted, why not check it out? I think it's a really cool idea and a really cool looking game, especially at this price. And hey, if you've never played a VR puzzle platformer before, then you could definitely start here. Like I said, it's pretty different and unique, and it's a really good price as well, so you can't ask for much more really. If you like the look of it, definitely check it out. But if not, there'll be plenty more VR games for you to choose from in future videos instead. We have a very quirky game next, Etern Nights, PS4 and PS5. It was released in 2023, so it's 2 years old, and it's on a 75% discount for the price of £6.24, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal, as this includes both the PS4 and PS5 versions, so you get every version of the game, which is really great. In this hack and slash dating sim, after mankind has turned into violent, dangerous monsters, you have to use magical abilities to save the world by conquering dungeons and dating to unlock story and unique skills and abilities in between the dungeon crawling. It features 5 people to date and a ticking clock mechanic as well, so everything's running out and you can only do so much in a day, and you have to pick whether you prioritize dating or just trying to get the dungeons completed. Now, anime is pretty well known for having quirky and unique gameplay, and this is one of those. It's nice to see a mix of dating sim and hack and slash game. I don't think I've seen that before, and I think fans of both will really enjoy this game, especially as you don't see many dating sims in general, but it's nice to see them mixing it up by combining with other genres, so this is pretty cool. If you're a fan of hack and slash games and you like a bit of dating, then why not take a look at this? It's definitely different, but the gameplay looks really cool, and in general, I just think it'll be a really cool and interesting game to play. If you like this sort of thing and you're a fan of anime games, then why not check it out? I think it's a really fun game, and people that give it a chance will really enjoy it, so why not check it out if you like the look of it? And hey, if you've never played a hack and slash dating sim before, because I've never seen another one, then you could start here. It's a really good and quirky game for a pretty fair price. It may be cheaper in the future, but who knows, you don't have a lot of options in this genre mix. So if you're interested, pick it up. But if not, you can always wait for it to get cheaper, or pick up a different game or genre instead. We have a horror game next, Intruders Hide and Seek. It was released in 2019, so it's 6 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the low price of £1.59, which is really great. And this game is fully playable in stereoscopic 3D, if you've still got one of those TVs, and VR as well on PSVR 1. Now there's no motion controller support, but hey, having VR support for the full game is really cool. Especially for horror games, they really make it more creepy and really scare you more than a normal game does. So it's pretty cool that they added this feature. If you've got a PSVR 1, that's a great bonus feature for you. In this game, 3 intruders break into your house at night time, taking your parents hostage, and now you must avoid the intruders while trying to free your captured parents and save everyone. Now this game's got a pretty simple idea, but it seems to be well implemented, and the idea of being stuck at home, held hostage within your own house, is pretty creepy to a lot of people, and I think that'll really pry on people's emotions. Especially if you're playing it in VR, it might just really horrify you, especially considering the game's set at night time. One of the things I like most about horror games is there's so many of them that you see a big variety in the sorts of games and gameplay experiences, so it's nice to see a game that's a bit different like this. You know, no more zombies, no more survival horror, just something a bit off the track from the normal games, and I think it'll be a lot of fun for people that like this genre. So if you're a fan of horror games and you like the look of this one, and especially if you've got a PSVR 1 headset, then you might want to take a look at this. It's only a small little game, but I think it'll be a lot of fun for people to pick it up, so why not check it out if you like the look of it. And hey, if you've never played a horror game before, then you could start here if it really intrigues you. There's so many to choose from in this genre that you really should pick up the one that intrigues you the most, or that piques your interest. But hey, this is a pretty cool little game for a really low price, and especially considering it's got PSVR 1 support. If you've got a PSVR 1, then that might sell it for you. It's a really cheap game, especially for a VR one. So if you're tempted by this genre, and you've got a PSVR 1 headset, or you just really like the look of this game, then why not pick it up? At this price, you can't go far wrong really. But if you're not sure, there'll be so many more to choose from in the future that you'll have plenty of options, so don't worry about it. It's time to join the Mafia. Mafia Definitive Edition. It was released in 2020, so it's 5 years old, but the original game was on the 360, so it's much older than that really, and it's on an 85% discount for the low price of £5.24, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, as this edition is a complete remake of the 2002 original with 4K and HDR support, which is really great. You're getting the complete version of the game, and the best version of the game, which is really good. Now just keep in mind there's 3 of these games and you can buy a bundle with all 3 games, but the third one's not as well thought of as the first 2, and the bundle's not on that big of a sale so far, so you can probably pick up the first and second game cheaper than picking up the bundle, and those are the best games. So it's up to you really, but just so you know, you have that option if you want all 3 of them, and the bundle may even be on a better discount in future as well. In this open world game, you get to play as a cab driver, Tommy Angelo, who has a brush with the Mafia and gets sucked into a crime underworld in a war between Mafia families as he tries to establish himself and gain respect from friends and foes alike. Now, back in the day, this was a pretty big deal. This was when a load of games were trying to copy GTA because that was the biggest game around. And it still kind of is, I guess. But in any case, everyone was trying to do the open world crime thing, and the Mafia games came out. And people loved them because they were set in the heyday of the Mafia, and it was just a really cool time period and theme. It's very romanticized in films and stories, so people really loved the idea of being able to live out those fantasies, which is really cool. That's what games are for. So if you're a fan of open world action games like GTA or Saints Row, then why not take a look at this? It's got a really cool story with some really cool theming, and especially if you're a fan of the Mafia or gangster stuff, then you'll really enjoy this game. So if you're tempted, definitely take a look. I think you'll have a great time if you pick up this game. And hey, if you've never played an open world game before, then if you're into the Mafia or gangsters, then you could definitely start here. It's probably the best game around with that sort of theming, and it's a really good quality game in general. So if you're a fan of this sort of stuff, or you've always wanted to try it, and you're into the Mafia, then definitely take a look at this. It's a really cool game at a fair price. But if you're not into gangsters or Mafia stuff, then there are other options for you, so don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss them when they're on sale next. No Straight Roads is our next game. It was released in 2020, so it's 5 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £3.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal. And this is the Encore Edition, which includes brand new remixes, a new opening cinematic, over 500 pieces of fan art, Christmas content, and a number of gameplay improvements as well. Now just keep in mind there's a Deluxe Edition, but it only includes some extra music, which I don't think is a big deal really. But hey, if you want that version, you'll have to wait for that to come on sale instead. In this action-adventure, the world of Vinyl City is ruled by the EDM empire, and you have to start an indie rock band and defeat musical megastars to bring back rock and defeat the EDM empire. It features a range of musical talent and 2-player couch co-op as well, so if you like playing games with a friend, family member or kid, then you might really enjoy this. Now, it's nice to see a musical themed game. You don't see it that often these days, and I like to see a bit of variety in games that come out. You know, they don't all have to be the same thing. So if you're a fan of musical content, and you like action-adventure games, then why not take a look at this? It's probably not going to be for everyone, the story's a bit cliche, but hey, if you're into music, and especially the sort of music that's included in this game, or you like games with co-op, then this might be a game you really enjoy. Definitely check it out. There's not a lot of games like this, and if it's the sort of game you've been looking for, you'll probably really enjoy it if you pick it up. And hey, if you've never played an action-adventure before, then I probably wouldn't recommend starting here. It looks like a pretty good game for a fair price, but I'd only recommend taking a look if you're really into the musical theming. If not, there's so many others to choose from, and even big legendary AAA ones as well. You're probably better off starting with one of them instead. So if you really like the look of this game, then check it out. But if you want to check out one of the others instead, don't forget to subscribe, and there'll be plenty more games for you to choose from in future videos instead. Ruiner is our next game. It was released in 2018, so it's 8 years old, and it's on a 90% discount for the price of £1.59, which is a really great deal. This twin-stick shooter is set in 2091, where you are a wired sociopath who teams up with a secretive hacker friend to fight a corrupt system and rescue your brother. It features a large variety of weapons to play with, and a huge amount of gadgets and skills to use as well, which is really cool. It keeps the gameplay fresh and varied. Now, twin-stick shooters are usually really fun, and it's a shame you don't see more of them these days. It's kind of an old-school genre that you don't see a lot of, and I think it's pretty hard to get them right these days, because the gameplay and controls need to be really good, and the weapons and theming need to be fun as well. But I think when you do, it's a really fun game experience that a lot of people don't get to try these days, which is a shame. And this is a pretty good one. It's been around a while now and people liked it when it came out, and it just looks like a really good quality game for a really low price. So if you're into twin stick shooters, definitely check this out. Especially if you've never heard of it before, I bet you'll really enjoy it. It's had a load of content updates back in the day, so it's got a lot of extra stuff included on top of the base game, and it just looks like a good quality game from this genre. So if you're a fan and you've never played it, definitely check it out. I think you'll have a lot of fun with this one. Why not take a look? And hey, if you've never played a twin stick shooter before, then you could definitely start here. It's a really good modern game for a really low price, which you can't ask for much more really. Pretty much the only reason I'd say not to pick it up is if you're not into the theming or the idea of this game. But hey, there are other options. There may not be a massive amount of them, but there are some. So if you're not particularly interested in this one, there will be some others in the future. So don't miss out on the videos, and then you won't miss them when they come on sale next. We have another VR game next, Shadow Legends VR. It was released in 2020, so it's 5 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £3.99, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a really great deal, especially for a VR game of this quality. This is a VR RPG, where move controllers are required, so if you don't have them you can't play it, and it's also a PSVR 1 exclusive, so if you don't have that, you can't play it either. Now, the good thing about this game was that it was built exclusively for VR from the ground up, and it was designed to immerse yourself within the medieval realm of Anaria as you play the Crusader Grand Master at a time when the gods of the realm are at war, and you have to explore the world, finding treasures and solving puzzles, while utilizing swords, bows, and magical weapons to defeat skilled enemies and bosses. It features a lot of world interactions, such as playing fetch with your dog, weapon maintenance, smelting in a furnace, cooking, and many others as well. So they've really gone the extra mile to try and immerse you in the world, which is great. It's nice to see a VR game where they've put so much effort into and just seem to have cared so much when they made it. It's really nice. Now in general, there's not a lot of VR RPGs around. Skyrim is the main one really, and that's also on PSVR 1, so that's its main competition, and let's be fair, it's Skyrim. It's going to be the best available. It's so expansive in AAA, you can't really compete. But hey, outside of that, this is the only other one that tries to be the same sort of level of quality, and it looks really good to me. Especially at this price, it looks like a really good deal. So if you've got a PSVR 1 and you're a fan of VR, why not take a look at this? It's a really cool VR RPG for a really good price. I don't think you can ask for much more really. Check it out if you like the sound of it. And hey, if you've never played a VR RPG before, then you could definitely start here. It's a lot cheaper than Skyrim VR, and it's a really good game. But hey, if you're dead set on Skyrim, it does come on semi-decent sales sometimes, so don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss it when it's on sale next. But hey, if you can't be bothered to wait anymore, take a look at this game. It's a really good game for a really good price. We have an action platformer next, Slain Back from Hell. It was released in 2016, so it's 7 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £2.59, which is a pretty decent deal. In this game, Bathorin, a doomed hero of Gothic world, seeks to liberate 6 cursed realms from 6 deadly overlords by fighting through their monster and trap-filled strongholds. It features a heavy metal soundtrack by Kurt V. Bryant, formerly of Celtic Frost. Now, this game was pretty big when it came out. There's a load of action platformers around, and there's a load of really good ones as well. But what's really good about it is the metal soundtrack. People who are into metal, which isn't me, so I'm not exactly, endorsing it myself, but hey, everyone I know that loves metal, or people that reviewed it and love metal, absolutely loved this game. They say the soundtrack is absolutely epic, and it really makes the game amazing. So if you're a fan of action platformers and you're a heavy metal fan, take a look at this game at least. It might just be the best game you never knew existed, so why not check it out? And hey, if you never played an action platformer before, then you could definitely start here if you're a heavy metal fan. It's the game for you and you'll probably love it. If you're not a heavy metal fan, then you probably won't appreciate it as much. And there's other big AAA legendary ones you can get for around the same price. So if you're not a fan of heavy metal, you'll have plenty more options to choose from in other videos. But hey, if you're into heavy metal, check this game out. There's not many games like this that are specifically designed for metal fans. So check it out if that's you. Up next is Solstice. It was released in 2023, so it's 2 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £6.59, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it, and a pretty good deal. Now, this is for the PS4 edition. There is a PS5 edition, which is also on sale for an 80% discount and a price of £6.99, but there's a free upgrade to the PS5 version from the PS4 version, so I guess buy the cheapest one and just get the PS5 version for free. I don't know why it's done like that, but who knows. Now, just so you know, there's a Deluxe edition as well, but that's only on PS5, and it doesn't really include much. It includes an item pack, the digital soundtrack, and a digital art book as well. Now, that's on sale right now, but it's only for PS5. It doesn't include the PS4 version, and it doesn't include a lot of extras. So if you want that, take a look at it, but really, I think you should just buy the PS4 version and get the PS5 version for free, and just not bother about the item pack. But hey, it's up to you really. Take a look if that's the one you want. In this action-adventure, feral beings known as wraiths are invading Cada, where 2 sisters become a chimera by sacrificing one sister and bonding their souls together. And now, as a warrior of physical and mystical powers, they fight to protect mankind together. Now, I've seen some reviews of this that are really good, and I've seen some reviews that say it's just a bit mid or not worth the money unless it's on sale. Generally speaking, my gut says this is a good game. I really like the art style of it, I really like the character design as well, and I kinda like the idea of the story. It's pretty dark, but I think it seems pretty fun and cool as well. Generally, the reviews look positive, and it just seems to me like you're getting a really good quality game for a pretty fair price. So if you're a fan of action adventures and you like the look of the story of this one as much as I do, then why not take a look at it? I think it's underappreciated, and I think a lot of people will have fun with it, especially at this price anyway. And hey, if you never played an action adventure before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. You can get other bigger AAA legendary ones for about the same price, and you're probably better off starting with one of them instead. But hey, if you're really into this one, take a look at it and pick it up anyway. But if not, you'll have plenty more games to choose from in future videos instead. The Dungeon of Nahulbuke, the Amulet of Chaos Chicken Edition is our next game. It was released in 2021, so it's 4 years old, and it's on at least an 80% discount for the price of £5.99 or £4.49 with PS Plus, which is the cheapest I've ever seen it. Now, I'm not exactly sure what the Chicken Edition is. I had a look but couldn't find any information about it anywhere. But this version does include the PS4 and the PS5 versions, so at least you're getting both versions of the game, which is really good. In this turn-based strategy game, you get to guide a team of unlikely heroes on an adventure full of humour and chaos. It features 7 character classes, unique skill trees and abilities for each character, adaptive difficulty, over 100 enemy types to fight, boss battles, puzzles, traps, and side quests as well. Now, this is based on some sort of franchise or property that I've never heard of, but before they made these games, it was only available in comics and some other media, so fans of that will probably be really interested in this. I've got no idea what that is, so I'm not commenting on that. But hey, it was in French originally from what I understand, and the language and jokes were in French obviously, and it was translated for the games, so some people say if you don't speak French and play it in French then you don't get the full understanding of the jokes in the game. But hey, people who have played in English have said that it was really funny, and that the translation was fine, and if you don't speak French, it's not like you have a choice. But hey, if you like games with a quirky sense of humour, and especially turn-based strategy games, don't see a lot of that these days, so it's really nice to see another one. I really love strategy games, and turn-based strategy are really good. So if you're a fan of turn-based strategy, and you like medieval fantasy sort of themed games with a really quirky and fun humour, then you might really enjoy this game. If you like the look of it, why not check it out? It's definitely not going to be for everyone, but I think people with the right sense of humour will really enjoy this game, so why not check it out? And hey, if you've never played a turn-based strategy game before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. You can get other bigger AAA legendary ones for about the same price, with a lot more content included, so you're much better off starting with one of them instead. And you can even get indie ones for less money than this as well. So you have plenty of options in this genre, even though there's not a lot of them. You do have a lot of good options in relation to this game. But hey, if you really like the sense of humour of this game, then why not check it out? But otherwise, there will be other options for you in future videos instead. We have a puzzle adventure next, the Sojourn. It was released in 2019, so it's 6 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £3.59, which is pretty good. In this game, you arrive in the Sojourn, a mysterious land of light and shadow, where you must overcome intricate and demanding obstacles to uncover the nature of reality. It promises a thought-provoking adventure with a really cool experience. Now, I'm a fan of puzzle adventures in general, and this game looks really fun to me. I love these sorts of games, and this looks like a really good quality game that's right up my alley. I'm even tempted to pick it up myself, but I've got so many other games to play at the moment, I might wait for the next sale, or maybe it might even get cheaper, you never know. Either way though, if you're a fan of puzzle adventures like me, and you like the sound of this one, my gut says it's a really good quality game, and I think people that like this genre will really like it. So why not check it out if you like the sound of it as much as I do? It might just be a really cool game. And hey, if you've never played a puzzle adventure before, then you could start here. It looks like a really good quality game for a fair price, although you do get other bigger ones for about the same price or not much more. And the competition is hot in puzzle games, there's so many of them, especially puzzle adventures. You've got a lot to choose from, and they're quite varied in their ideas and theming as well. So if you're not particularly interested in this one, you will have more options to choose from in the future. So don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss out when they're on sale next. And the final game I have for you is Twin Mirror. It was released in 2020, so it's 5 years old, and it's on an 80% discount for the price of £4.99, which is pretty good. In this story-driven adventure game, Sam Higgs returns to his hometown of Basswood to say a final farewell to his best friend, but he is soon forced to confront his troubled past as he struggles to find who he can trust while uncovering the town's dark secrets. Now, in general, I'm quite a big fan of story-driven games. As long as the story's good and interesting, then I don't mind that there's less gameplay than normal games, and I just have a real good time enjoying the story and having a bit of casual gameplay. And this game isn't that familiar to me, it's not that popular, and I haven't seen it talked about a lot between people. But hey, it seems to be pretty well liked, and it's from a genre where you don't see a lot of games outside of the big ones. I mean, outside of things like Telltale and the Something Strange franchise, there's not a lot of big AAA hitters out there really. So it's nice to see a game that's along the same sort of line, but just as intriguing. So if you're a fan of story-driven games and you like the sound of this one, then why not check it out? It may not be well known, and it may not be from a big studio that's famous for these sorts of games, but it looks like a pretty decent game, and I think if you enjoy this genre, then there's a lot for you to like in this game. So why not take a look at it? It might just be the best game you've played in ages. And hey, if you've never played a story-driven adventure before, then I wouldn't recommend starting here. You can get other bigger AAA legendary ones for about the same price, and even things like the Walking Dead collection and stuff, which is about the same price on sale, and you get a whole series of games with that. So you get much more content for your money, and you're much better off starting with one of them instead, especially as some of them have really big franchises attached. But hey, if you really like the look of this game, then check it out. But if not, you will have a lot more options to choose from in future videos. So don't forget to subscribe, and then you won't miss out on them when they're on sale next. And that's all the games I have for the PlayStation Summer Sale. I hope you're not melting as much as I am and you're having a good time. But more importantly, what did you think of the games I picked? Did I pick good ones or did I pick bad ones? And what about the star buy? Did it deserve it, or should some other game have got it instead? Leave all your comments below and we can talk about it later. Anyway, I hope you found some really cool games to play, but more importantly, I hope you saved a lot of money. I'll see you guys in the next sale. Hoil Vour.